a must-watch. 7 Subtle Signs She's Into You. Old Stoic Wisdom, Stoicism. The greatest happiness of life is the conviction that we are loved. Loved for ourselves, or rather, loved in spite of ourselves. Victor Hugo. Welcome, brothers of wisdom. If you've ever found yourself unsure whether she's genuinely into you, this is your moment of clarity. In the quiet corners of human interaction, women speak a language most men never learn to understand. It's not verbal, it's emotional, intuitive, and deeply subtle. While the untrained man misreads or overlooks it, the Stoic man watches. He doesn't chase, he doesn't guess, he sees. A Stoic man knows that true strength lies in restraint, observation, and calm awareness. That's what gives him the edge. So let's get into it. Why this matters. Attraction isn't always loud. In fact, the deepest connections are often communicated in whispers. The glance that lingers too long, the slight lean closer when you speak, the energy that shifts when you walk into the room. Most men miss these signs not because they aren't there, but because they don't know how to look. Misreading a woman's signals can make a man act too soon, or not at all. Both are costly mistakes. But when you read her correctly, you gain more than just romantic advantage. You gain emotional clarity, grounded confidence, and the ability to connect on a higher level without desperation or illusion. This isn't about tactics or games. This is about awareness, presence, and timeless masculine wisdom. Old Stoic principles teach us: see clearly, act deliberately, accept the outcome with calm strength. Now let's talk about the 7 subtle signs she's into you. Sign 1. Genuine eye contact. One of the most quietly powerful signs that a woman is genuinely into you doesn't come wrapped in words. It comes through the windows of the soul. Her eyes. It's ancient, it's subtle, and it's real. When a woman holds your gaze just a fraction longer than what's typically considered casual, that lingering moment carries an entire world of meaning. You see, this isn't about playful flirtation or surface-level attraction. This is something deeper. It's the kind of look that, if you're not grounded and present, you might miss. But if you are aware, truly present in the moment, you'll notice it. Her pupils may dilate ever so slightly. Her facial expression may soften, as if a part of her armor gently slips away. There's a warmth in her eyes, not aggressive, not needy, but open, curious, and quietly vulnerable. This is her saying, I see you, and I want you to see me too. It's not seduction, it's connection. And in today's distracted world, where eye contact is often replaced by screens and shallow interactions, this small act of prolonged eye contact is rare and meaningful. The Stoics would have understood this moment well. They taught that true power is found in stillness and observation. As Epictetus once said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. But there's another kind of listening, one that requires no words at all. When you hold a woman's gaze without rushing to speak, to act, or to judge, you're allowing the space for something real to unfold. In that space, her eyes begin to communicate something that language cannot contain. It's in these moments of silence that we hear the loudest truths. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts, and a woman who has been thinking about you, feeling something for you, whether she fully understands it yet or not, will reflect that in her gaze. You don't need her to spell it out. You need to observe with calm confidence and without chasing or over-analysing. This is where your Stoic training comes into play. The modern man, especially one shaped by Stoic values, does not chase validation or react impulsively. He recognises the signs, honours them with stillness, and responds with presence. So if you catch her looking at you a little longer than usual, meet her eyes with steadiness. Don't flinch. Don't look away too quickly. Don't flash a fake, overly eager smile. Instead, allow a quiet, authentic smile to rise, one that comes from self-assuredness, not from the need to impress. This silent exchange is not about dominance or charm. It's about energy, respect, and mutual recognition. The Stoics believed that before you can lead others, you must first master yourself. This moment is your test. Can you stay centered, calm, and present when connection comes knocking? Real life is not a rom-com. There's no dramatic music playing when these moments happen. They're quiet, hidden, easily missed by the untrained or distracted man. But if you're awake, if your mind is steady and your eyes are open, you'll feel it, and you'll respond not with desperation, but with calm interest. That's what makes a man truly magnetic, not needing attention, but being present enough to notice when it's genuinely given. So now, ask yourself honestly, have you ever experienced that kind of gaze? That long, soft look that seems to say more than words ever could? Did you notice it? Or did you brush it off, too caught up in your thoughts to recognize what was being offered? Reflect on it. And if you have a story, a moment, or a memory that comes to mind, share it in the comments. Your insight might help another man open his eyes to the connection he's been overlooking. Let's learn from one another, because wisdom, like connection, grows when it's shared. Sign 2. Subtle touches. Subtle touches. Those gentle, almost imperceptible gestures carry a weight that words often cannot. They are soft whispers from the soul, and for the Stoic man, calm, grounded, watchful, they are not to be missed. In a world that values loud expressions and fast moves, a woman's quiet, intentional touch is a rare language of its own. Picture this. You're speaking with composure, and she leans in slightly, her hand brushing yours as if by accident. But it's not. It's a test, a quiet signal, a subtle way of saying, I feel safe with you. Maybe she touches your arm when she laughs, or lets her hand rest on your shoulder just a second longer than necessary. These moments may seem small, but they are packed with intention. Women, especially those attuned to emotional nuance, often communicate desire and comfort not through declarations, but through presence, through space, energy, and yes, touch. Touch is ancient. Long before we learned how to form sentences, we reached out with our hands. It's one of the earliest ways humans formed connection and trust. A child doesn't ask for love with words. They reach for their mother's hand. That instinct never leaves us. In modern life, where so much of our communication has become digital, texts, emails, emojis, physical touch stands out more than ever. It's bold in its vulnerability. It's real in a world where so much is filtered and edited. When a woman touches you, even subtly, she's offering a moment of truth. And for the Stoic man, that moment isn't something to chase or cling to, it's something to honor. So what should you do when you notice these signals? The answer is simple. Stay still. Stay present. You don't need to react impulsively or start overthinking every move. The Stoic man doesn't chase validation. He doesn't interpret every detail like a puzzle. He breathes. He observes. And when the time is right, he responds. With intention, not haste. If she touches your arm during conversation, respond not with a grab or a flirtatious move, but with a grounded, respectful gesture, maybe a gentle touch on her back as you guide her through a door, or a steady look that lets her know you noticed. You're not trying to escalate. You're showing that you're attuned. You're letting her know, without words, I see you. I respect this. These subtle moments matter. They reveal how you handle intimacy, not just physical, but emotional. They reveal whether you're rushed and reactive or calm and self-assured. Women notice these things. They feel them. And the man who responds with patience and grace stands out in a world full of noise. Don't fall into the trap of over-analyzing her behavior or doubting your instincts. That's not the path of the Stoic. Instead, recognize that intimacy begins not in grand gestures, but in the small, sacred spaces where comfort and curiosity meet. In these fleeting touches, she is asking, are you present enough to feel this moment with me? It's in your stillness that she feels safe. It's in your restraint that she finds trust. Because when a woman dares to break that invisible wall and reaches out, even slightly, she's not just looking for chemistry, she's feeling for your energy. Your reaction tells her everything. Not just who you are now, but who you might be in deeper moments of connection, challenge, or love. So when she opens that door, don't rush to barge through it. Stand at the threshold with quiet strength. Let her feel your presence. Let the energy build naturally, because true connection doesn't need to be forced. It unfolds. And in this world of distractions and noise, it is your calm, your wisdom, and your unwavering presence that invites her to keep stepping closer. Sign 3. Active listening and engaged responses. A woman who's truly into you doesn't just listen. She immerses herself in your words like they carry heat on a cold night. She leans in, not because the air is chilly, but because your presence holds weight. Her eyes lock on, steady and sure. Her body mirrors yours. Her laughter, natural, unforced, erupts not from politeness, but from a fire that flickers beneath the surface, waiting to ignite. That, right there, is the sign most men miss. That's not courtesy, that's connection, that's psychology. And the Stoics? They knew this game long before dating coaches were ever born. Marcus Aurelius said it best. The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts. When a woman listens with that level of presence, when her attention wraps around your words like velvet, it means she's letting you colour her world, even if just for a moment. That's no small thing. In a world drowning in distractions, undivided attention is more rare than gold. She's not just reacting. She's engaged. She's investing. And in this life, investment is never random. Pay attention. But here's your test, brother. Will you recognize it? Will you meet her energy or fade like the rest? Because a true Stoic, one who walks the old path, he doesn't perform. He doesn't seek validation. He attracts. Through stillness, through depth, through presence. When she gives you her full attention, don't dilute it with shallow talk. Don't start tap dancing for approval. Stay rooted, stand firm, ask questions that matter. What drives you when no one's watching? What's a truth you carry that you rarely speak aloud? These are not casual lines. These are doorways. And if she walks through them with you, she's telling you something without saying a word. Don't fake interest, be interested. Because a woman doesn't open her heart through pressure or charm. She opens it through feeling heard, deeply, truly. And you can't fake that. Your attention is power. It is the currency of real connection. If she's spending it on you, you better rise like a king who knows the value of what's being offered. Not with ego, but with presence. Not with noise, but with clarity. Modern men waste this moment. They rush past it, miss the signs, fall into distraction. But not you. Not anymore. You've seen the pattern. You've seen how she sits forward, how her eyes soften, how her guard lowers without a word. That's the moment. That's the crack in the armour. That's your signal. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And many men overthink, overanalyze, and end up paralysed. But wisdom doesn't hesitate. Stoic mastery doesn't chase. It invites. It creates space. It listens back fully. You want to be unforgettable? Then don't try to impress her. Understand her. Stand still while the world spins. Be the calm in her storm. Be the one man who actually hears what others miss. That's what makes you magnetic. And if you've ever experienced that kind of moment, the spark in her eyes, the lean in, the mirrored laugh, then comment right now. I now see the signs clearly. Let it be your declaration. Let it be your shift. And if this message hits something deep in you, don't just scroll like the rest. Like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to this channel. Stoicism. Win. Because this is not just about understanding women. It's about mastering you. The way you think, the way you show up, the way you lead without needing applause. That's what separates the average from the extraordinary. And that's why you're here. Sign 4. Playful teasing or flirting. Playful teasing or light flirting. On the surface, it might seem like harmless banter, but if you look a little deeper, you'll discover that it's often a subtle invitation into her world. When a woman starts to challenge your opinions in jest, playfully mocks your favourite sports team, or even debates with a smile about who makes the better coffee, she's not just entertaining herself, she's signalling something more. This is where attraction becomes a dance, not of grand gestures, but of small, meaningful steps. These moments may seem insignificant to the untrained eye, but to the wise, they are signs worth noticing. This isn't just humor for the sake of it, it's calculated charm, an emotional handshake extended to see if you have the composure, wit, and strength to match her energy. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic minds, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In other words, your reaction to these subtle cues is far more important than the cue itself. A woman will test the waters this way only when she feels safe around you, when your presence calms her rather than pressures her. That safety gives her room to be playful, and in that playfulness, she's exploring connection. Flirting in this form is not loud, boastful, or overt. It's quiet, clever, and full of intent. Psychology tells us that teasing helps fast-track rapport, breaks down emotional walls, and builds a foundation of shared humor and understanding. And as a man who walks with Stoic wisdom, your role is not to overpower her with wit or prove you're the sharpest in the room. Instead, it's to stay grounded, unshaken, and responsive, not reactive. If she makes a cheeky remark about your haircut or questions your taste in movies, don't tense up. Don't take it personally. Instead, smile, lean into the moment, and gently tease her back, perhaps about how she needs to take 100 selfies just to choose one. The key is keeping the tone light, never mean-spirited. Remember the words of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In these moments, your calm, humorous response isn't just a defense mechanism. It's a signal of emotional maturity, of quiet strength. In real life, these signs often show up unexpectedly. Maybe you're chatting over coffee, and she suddenly starts giving you a hard time about your old man playlist. Or maybe during a walk she jokingly accuses you of being terrible with directions. These are not insults, they're invitations. Invitations to connect, to laugh, to open up. And how you handle them can either deepen the spark or shut the door. This is where the modern Stoic man shines. He doesn't compete, he connects. He doesn't get defensive, he stays centered. He understands that life is not a courtroom where every word must be judged and defended, but a conversation where emotional intelligence guides the flow. So the next time a woman playfully pokes at your habits, don't just see it as teasing, see it as an opportunity to show your confidence without arrogance, to respond with warmth instead of resistance, to let your charm shine not through dominance, but through ease. And here's where your life experience becomes a gift. You've lived long enough to know that real relationships aren't built on fireworks, but on subtle, steady signals like this, ones that many men overlook. If you've ever had a playful conversation that unexpectedly turned into something more, share your story in the comments. What started as a joke might have become something beautiful, and your story could help another man spot the same signs in his own life. And if you're still learning the rhythm of this dance, be patient. Like anything worthwhile, it takes practice. But trust me, once you get the feel for it, it becomes one of the most rewarding parts of the connection. The next time she laughs while teasing you, smile back with the confidence of a man who knows. This is more than just banter. It's the beginning of something real. Sign 5. Prioritizing time with you. When a woman genuinely has feelings for you, one of the clearest signs she values you is how she prioritizes time with you, regardless of how busy her life may be. This isn't always about grand gestures or lavish dates. Rather, it's about the little things, like suggesting a simple coffee meetup or planning a quiet weekend together. Even the small, seemingly mundane actions, like checking in on you during the day, speak volumes. In today's world, where time is often a rare commodity, these moments are a direct reflection of how much she cherishes your presence in her life. As any Stoic philosopher would agree, time is one of the most finite resources we have, and how we choose to allocate it says a great deal about our values. If she is dedicating her precious time to be with you, it shows that you hold a significant place in her heart. This simple act of prioritizing you is not just about the time spent together. It's the effort and intention behind it that matter most. She's not merely squeezing you into her hectic schedule. She's actively making space for you, signaling that To her, you are someone worthy of her emotional investment. So why is this so meaningful? Because it goes beyond just sharing time. It's an expression of deeper affection. It shows that she sees something special in you, something that draws her in and makes her want to create room for you in her life. This effort, no matter how small it may seem, reflects a profound level of care and connection. In modern life, where distractions are abundant and time can feel like a luxury, such gestures stand out as clear signs of genuine emotional interest. When she makes the effort to spend time with you, she's not only showing affection, she's investing in a deeper relationship. Now, how should you respond when she offers you such a gift? Acknowledge it with gratitude. A simple yet sincere, "Thank you for making time for me," will let her know that you recognize and appreciate the effort she has put into prioritizing you. But don't stop there. It's essential to reciprocate her effort. Be fully present when you're together. Show her that her time and attention mean just as much to you by being engaged, attentive, and thoughtful in return. By matching her effort, you create an atmosphere of mutual respect and appreciation, which deepens the connection between you. In this age where our time feels increasingly fragmented by countless distractions, the ability to make time for someone is a powerful signal. It's a clear message of commitment and emotional depth. So, when she prioritizes you, take it as a sign of her genuine feelings and make sure to reflect that same level of care and investment back into the relationship. This is how bonds are built, through time, effort, and mutual recognition of each other's importance in a fast-paced world. Sign 6. She regularly initiates texting you. In today's digital age, texting has become one of the most common ways people communicate. However, not all text messages are created equal. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, the way she reaches out to you can reveal her feelings more than you might realize. One of the clearest signs of interest is when she regularly initiates texting, showing that she is not just passing time, but actively seeking to stay connected with you. It's easy to think that texting is just a casual way to say hi, or to check in without much thought. But when a woman takes the time to text you consistently, it goes beyond basic communication. It's a subtle yet powerful indication that she's emotionally invested in you. Why does she initiate texts? The reasons why a woman might initiate texting can vary, but one thing is clear. She's taking the time to make an effort to stay in touch. It's more than just a social nicety. It's a reflection of her genuine interest in your life. It's easy to mistake frequent texting for casual conversation, but when a woman initiates it, it means she's actively trying to build and maintain a connection. A woman who texts you regularly might send messages about small things, like how her day went or how something reminded her of you. These messages are not just to fill the silence. They are an invitation to connect on a deeper level. They allow her to share parts of her life with you and to invite you into her world, even when you're not physically present. In many cases, when a woman is into you, she may initiate texts to check in on you or share something personal that she wants you to be a part of. For instance, imagine this. You've been going through a stressful period at work, and one day, out of the blue, you get a text from her saying, "Hey, just wanted to check in and see how you're doing. I hope today's been better for you." This is a clear indication that she's not only thinking of you, but also deeply cares about your well-being. Another example could be when she randomly sends a text saying, "I saw this article on something you like and thought of you," or "I know you've been wanting to try this restaurant. Want to go sometime?" These seemingly small texts speak volumes about how she values your interests and is trying to weave herself into your life. This is not a coincidence. She's showing interest by keeping the conversation going. And it's a subtle but clear way of showing that she's thinking about you, even when you're not together. How should you respond to her initiation? For the modern Stoic man, there's a key principle to keep in mind when responding to these messages. Stay grounded and present. The fact that she's reaching out to you first is a reflection of her interest, but it's also an opportunity for you to show how emotionally intelligent and present you are. Don't overthink or feel the need to bombard her with excessive texts in return. The Stoic way is to respond with clarity and purpose, acknowledging her message thoughtfully without overcompensating. If she texts you about how her day went, for example, a simple but genuine reply like, "I'm glad to hear your day went well. It's always nice when things go smoothly," can go a long way. Your response shouldn't be rushed or robotic. Instead, engage with her on a deeper level by acknowledging her thoughts and responding with authenticity. It's important not to rush the process or feel pressured to overdo it. Texting is an opportunity to show that you're calm and self-assured. A Stoic man knows how to balance attentiveness with independence. If she's texting you regularly, it's a sign she enjoys your company. But just because she's reaching out doesn't mean you should be in a rush to create a fast-paced back-and-forth conversation. Respond in your own time. Stay mindful of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. If she texts you about something important, like how she's feeling about a difficult situation, this is where you can show your emotional maturity. You might say, "I can see how that could be tough. I'm here if you need to talk more about it." You're not just acknowledging the text, you're engaging with empathy, showing that you care, but also that you have the emotional control to offer meaningful responses rather than rushing to fill the silence with empty words. By staying grounded and present, you communicate that you value her effort in reaching out and are invested in the connection, but also that you're emotionally mature enough to avoid rushing or overreacting. The Stoic wisdom behind it. Why is this important in the context of Stoicism? The Stoic approach teaches that true emotional strength comes from self-control and thoughtful observation. The way you respond to her text is a reflection of your ability to maintain a calm, centered mindset while still being open and emotionally engaged. By responding with clarity and authenticity, you are not only engaging with her in a meaningful way, but also upholding your own inner strength. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This can be applied to how you approach texting. It's not about chasing after her attention or feeling the need to respond immediately. It's about choosing how to engage thoughtfully, whether you respond right away or take time to craft a well-considered reply. Ultimately, when a woman is regularly initiating texts, it's a signal that she's emotionally invested. How you respond to that signal matters just as much as the signal itself. By embracing the Stoic values of calmness, observation, and thoughtful interaction, you can build a deeper connection with her that is based on emotional clarity and mutual respect. Sign 7. She consistently shows care and concern for your well-being. One of the most powerful signs that a woman is genuinely interested in you is when she consistently shows care and concern for your well-being. This is not just about superficial gestures or obligatory acts of kindness. It's about her deeply caring for your happiness, health, and mental state. When a woman goes out of her way to check in on you, notice how you're feeling, or offer support when you need it, it's a clear indication that she values you in a meaningful way. The power of care in relationships. When we talk about care in relationships, it's essential to understand that true care goes beyond grand gestures or romantic displays. Care is shown through the little things, the genuine interest in your life, the way she remembers what matters to you, and how she reaches out when you need support. This could be something as simple as her asking how your day went, noticing when you're stressed, or offering a comforting gesture when you're feeling down. Let's consider an example. Imagine you've been going through a tough week at work, and she notices that you're a little more withdrawn or stressed than usual. One day, she sends you a thoughtful text that says, "Hey, I know you've been working hard lately. If you ever need someone to talk to or take a break with, I'm here." This kind of message shows that she's paying attention to your emotional state and wants to offer comfort without pressuring you. Another example could be when you've been dealing with personal issues, and she takes it upon herself to check in with you regularly. She might say things like, "How are you holding up today? Let me know if there's anything I can do to help." These actions show that she's invested in your emotional well-being. It's not just about her being there in the good times. It's about being there when you're struggling too. Why does this matter? In modern relationships, emotional care and concern are often overlooked or misinterpreted. Many people may think that love is shown through dramatic acts or romantic gestures, but real care is shown through consistency and attentiveness. A woman who genuinely cares about you will take note of the things that affect your emotional health. She'll remember what's important to you and what's not, and she'll check in on you without waiting for you to ask for help. This type of concern is especially significant in a world that can often feel disconnected and busy. People are distracted, and emotional support can sometimes feel like an afterthought. But when a woman consistently reaches out to see how you're doing, it's a sign that she's building a deep emotional connection with you. She's not just with you for the fun and excitement. She's with you because she genuinely cares about your well-being, and that's a strong foundation for any relationship. How should you respond? When a woman shows consistent care for you, it's important to acknowledge her actions with sincerity and gratitude. You might respond to her inquiries with something as simple as, "Thank you for checking in. It really means a lot to me that you care." This lets her know that you appreciate her concern and that you're grateful for the emotional space she's providing. However, as a Stoic man, it's important to balance vulnerability with emotional independence. You don't need to overburden her with your problems or expect her to fix everything. Instead, share your feelings calmly and thoughtfully. For example, you might say, "It's been a tough week, but I'm working through it. Thanks for being there for me." This shows her that you value her support without leaning on her for emotional validation. The Stoic wisdom behind it. In Stoicism, care is not about dependency. It's about mutual respect and support. A Stoic man understands that relationships are built on emotional balance, where both parties care for each other while maintaining their own strength and independence. By showing appreciation for her concern and responding with emotional maturity, you're reinforcing a healthy, balanced dynamic in the relationship. As Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Many men overthink or resist care because they fear vulnerability, but in reality, accepting care with gratitude strengthens the bond. A Stoic man doesn't shy away from emotional intimacy. He embraces it with wisdom, grace, and patience. When she shows you consistent care and concern, take it as a sign that she values you as more than just an object of attraction. She is interested in your overall well-being. Respond with calm confidence, understanding that her care is a reflection of the deeper connection you are building together. Common misinterpretations. In the realm of human connection, it's easy to fall into the trap of overthinking and overanalyzing every little gesture that comes our way, especially when it comes to women. We all do it. A smile here, a compliment there, a glance that lasts just a second longer than usual. We start piecing these things together, desperately looking for any sign that she's interested. But let me caution you, not every small action is a signal of romantic attraction. A smile, a quick compliment, or a simple response might just be politeness, not an invitation to pursue something deeper. The Stoics understood that it's not the single act that defines the truth. It's the combination of actions, the pattern that emerges over time. Think of it like this: a smile paired with intense eye contact, followed by a rich, engaging conversation. Now, that speaks volumes. But a casual smile on its own? That could just be friendliness, nothing more. The danger comes when we overanalyze, obsess, and lose sight of the bigger picture. In the wise words of Marcus Aurelius, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." If you find yourself questioning a woman's intentions, take a step forward with confidence. Ask her directly, "I feel like we get along really well. What do you think?" This approach not only gives you clarity, but does so without the weight of unnecessary pressure. Now let's talk about how to respond when you start noticing these subtle signs. Confidence? True confidence is your greatest ally here. When you see the signs, don't hesitate. Don't second-guess yourself. Embrace the moment with your authentic self, fully aware of your value. There's no need to be cocky, but do carry yourself with a quiet, unshakable belief in who you are. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. When the time feels right, take action. Don't wait for the perfect moment that may never come. Ask her out, suggest an activity, or simply express your interest in a straightforward, respectful manner. If you've been paying attention, these signs will not only tell you she might be interested, they'll show you the way forward. So what are the 7 signs that indicate she's genuinely attracted to you? Let's break them down. First, genuine eye contact. This isn't the quick glance that immediately looks away. No, it's that deep, steady gaze that lingers just a little longer than normal. It's her way of saying, I see you and I'm engaged. Second, subtle touches. A light tap on your arm, a playful brush of your hand, or a gentle touch on your shoulder. These are all physical cues that go beyond casual interaction. Third, active listening. When she's truly interested in you, she'll listen intently to what you say, ask questions, and remember details. It's not just about hearing words, it's about connecting. Fourth, playful teasing. She might joke with you, make fun of you in a light-hearted way, or engage in friendly banter. This shows comfort and trust. Finally, prioritizing time with you. She will make an effort to spend time with you, seek your company, and keep the conversation going. These signs, while subtle, are incredibly powerful. Recognizing them will transform how you approach relationships. You won't waste time wondering, does she like me? Because you'll already know the answer. You will move forward with strength, clarity, and the confidence that comes from understanding not just the signs, but the art of mastering your own thoughts and emotions. This is the Stoic way, and it's the way that will help you win, not just in love, but in life. So take note of the signs, step forward with boldness, and take control of your own fate. You're in the driver's seat. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video and that it gave you some insightful tips on how to read the subtle signs of attraction. Now, it's time to take action. Start observing these signs in your own life. Remember, understanding these cues can be a powerful tool in building deeper, more meaningful relationships. But always remember, true connection is about mutual respect, trust, and effort from both sides. Relationships aren't just about reading signals. They're about understanding each other and putting in the work to grow together. The Stoic wisdom we've discussed today isn't just a strategy, it's a mindset that can lead to better connections, more clarity, and ultimately, more fulfilling relationships. So, as you go out into the world, keep an eye out for these signs, but also focus on building a solid foundation of respect and trust. Relationships take effort, but with the right mindset, you can create something real and lasting. If you found value in today's video, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on content that can empower your life. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care and stay wise. As we've explored in the first video, recognizing the subtle signs of attraction can make all the difference in understanding a woman's true feelings towards you. These signs aren't always obvious, but by tapping into old Stoic wisdom, you can begin to see past the surface and grasp the deeper nuances of her actions and body language. Now, what if you want to turn the tables and make her miss you in a way that creates lasting attraction? In the next video, we'll dive into powerful Stoic techniques that will leave her thinking about you long after you part ways. Find out how adopting these strategies can make her miss you badly, even if you're not around. Stay tuned. How to make them miss you badly by adopting these. Old Stoic wisdom. How to make them miss you badly by adopting these. Old Stoic wisdom. Have you ever wanted someone to miss you so much that you're the first thought on their mind when they wake up and the last one before they fall asleep? What if you could leave a lasting impression that makes them miss you deeply every day? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're unveiling the secrets to making yourself absolutely unforgettable. And it all starts with the wisdom of the Stoics. Seneca once said, Absence sharpens love. Presence strengthens it. It's in the moments you're not around that love and longing grow. Today, we're going to dive into 10 Stoic principles that go beyond just creating a little desire. They'll turn you into someone who becomes a part of their thoughts, leaving them yearning for your presence. Now, I encourage you to stay with us through every principle. Each one is a powerful key that, when combined, will allow you to master the art of being unforgettably missed. Before we dive in, here's a fun challenge for you. Drop a comment below with the words, "on their mind tomorrow." It's simple, but it captures the essence of what we're talking about. Plus, I'm curious to see how many of you are ready to dive into this journey. Let's jump into these 9 powerful Stoic strategies that will make them yearn for your presence even more. Let's jump right into our first principle. Number 1, self-sufficiency. You might be asking, how does being self-sufficient make someone miss me more? The answer lies in the power of independence. When you're self-sufficient, you're showing that you're whole on your own, and this is a trait that naturally draws admiration in any relationship. Think about it. When you stop clinging to someone for validation or attention, and instead focus on living your best life, pursuing your own interests, and fulfilling your own needs, you automatically create a sense of intrigue. By being self-sufficient, you demonstrate that your happiness doesn't depend on your partner. This independence can create a space in the relationship that allows for mutual respect and admiration. Instead of constantly seeking their attention, you become someone who lives on their own terms, which makes you far more intriguing to them. As your partner sees you thriving and growing on your own, they begin to see you not just as a companion, but as an individual, a person they respect and find attractive for your strength and self-reliance. This isn't about being emotionally distant or detached, but rather about creating a healthy space where both of you can grow individually while still being there for each other. When you're not always available or seeking them for happiness, it makes them start to wonder what you're up to and how you're managing life so effortlessly. The result? They begin to miss that self-sufficient version of you, the person who doesn't rely on them for every little thing. It's the sense of autonomy and self-reliance that makes your partner appreciate you more. They'll recall how you handle challenges with grace and poise, and they'll yearn for your presence in their life. As you embrace and cultivate your independence, you don't push them away. Instead, you pull them in, closer and more deeply than before. This dynamic not only keeps them thinking about you today, but it keeps you in their thoughts long after you've left. As the Roman philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Embrace your freedom, your autonomy, and let that self-sufficiency work its magic in drawing them closer. Let them miss you not because you're playing games, but because you're truly living a life that reflects your inner strength and independence. Remember, relationships thrive when both partners are whole individuals. Do you consider yourself an independent person? If so, comment, "I am independent." Number 2, purposeful living. To make her miss you badly, you must become someone whose life exudes purpose, someone who lives each day with passion, focus, and a drive to make a meaningful impact. This isn't about simply filling the time with distractions. It's about being so engrossed in your ambitions and aspirations that you become the very embodiment of purpose. When you live purposefully, you become far more attractive and intriguing. You're not just a person waiting for love or attention. You're a man on a mission, someone who is shaping the world around him. It's this energy, this relentless pursuit of your goals, that draws people to you. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, "Our plans miscarry because they have no aim. When a man does not know what harbour he is making for, no wind is the right wind." By setting clear goals, you become both directed and dynamic, turning your every action into something meaningful. Picture this. You're telling her about a project you're working on, a cause you're passionate about, or an adventure you've just embarked on. The excitement in your voice, the fire in your eyes. It's contagious. She can't help but feel the energy you bring into the conversation, and it leaves a lasting impression. Now, when you're not around, she begins to miss that spark, that energy, and the way you made her feel alive with your purpose. In your absence, she longs for those vibrant moments and the stories you'll share next. Your life, driven by purpose, becomes something she can't ignore. It's not just the romantic connection that makes her miss you. It's the fact that you are always evolving, always growing, making every interaction with you feel new, fulfilling, and dynamic. And when you're not there, she feels the gap. So, lead with purpose, immerse yourself in your passions, and never stop growing. Be the person who inspires admiration and desire, not just for your love, but for your passion for life itself. You will become the man whose absence creates longing, not because you've disappeared, but because you're always progressing, always becoming more than you were before. In that way, they won't just miss you, they'll wish they could be a part of your journey. Number 3, intentional communication. Do you want to make someone miss you deeply, crave your presence, and think about you when you're not around? The key lies in intentional communication. It's the art of carefully selecting your words, ensuring they are not just spoken, but carry weight and purpose. You're not speaking to fill silence, you're speaking to create connection. You are weaving meaning into your words, crafting each sentence with intent, so that when you speak, it resonates on a deeper, more impactful level. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "Speak so you can speak again." This timeless piece of wisdom is a call to make every word count, to leave a lasting impression, and to ensure that those who hear you want more, not just from the conversation, but from you. Picture it. When you speak, you're not just exchanging words, you're offering a glimpse into your thoughts, your intellect, and your emotional depth. You create an atmosphere where your insights and humour feel like rare treasures, and people begin to seek out your presence. It's in these moments that you truly make an impact. And when you're absent, your words linger. They echo in the mind of the listener, leaving them longing for that next encounter, where they can once again bask in the depth and thoughtfulness you bring to the table. Intentional communication isn't just about being heard, it's about being remembered. It's about ensuring that when you're not around, they miss the richness of your conversations. They start reflecting on what you said, contemplating the meaning behind your words, and yes, they start missing you. By embracing intentional communication, you don't just speak, you connect. Your words become a tool that builds emotional bonds and leaves a powerful mark on the heart and mind of those you engage with. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Become the person who speaks with purpose. Make your words matter. When you do, you won't just leave a conversation behind. You'll leave a lasting presence in their life, one that keeps them coming back for more. Speak with intent. Speak with depth. Speak to make them miss you. And remember, it's not just what you say, but how you say it that makes all the difference. So, from now on, choose your words with precision, infuse them with charm, and watch as your influence grows stronger, even in your absence. Like, comment, and subscribe if you believe in the power of intentional communication to shape your relationships and make your presence unforgettable. Number 4, the power of embracing absence. Here's a surprising idea. How can the times you spend apart actually bring you closer together? It may seem counterintuitive at first, but embracing absence can amplify their longing for you and deepen your connection when you're reunited. It's a powerful concept. Absence doesn't just make the heart grow fonder, it stirs up anticipation, heightens appreciation, and makes the time you share together even more meaningful. By learning to value the space between you, you send a clear message. True connection isn't about constant physical proximity, it's about the emotional bond you share. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life." In relationships, this freedom comes from releasing the need to cling, and instead allowing space for each person to grow and reflect. When you free yourself from the constant need to be together, You free your relationship from the dull routine, and what remains is a powerful, more vibrant connection. Think about it this way. Rather than flooding them with messages when you're apart, give them room to miss you. Let the silence speak for itself, creating an air of mystery and curiosity. You're not just another predictable part of their day, you become the highlight, the absence they feel, and the presence they look forward to. This sense of space between you lets them reflect on the value of your time together, making your reunions feel more fulfilling and dynamic. It's an approach that mirrors the natural rhythm of life, the ebb and flow of togetherness and solitude. Both are necessary for growth and balance, and embracing solitude gives you the chance to learn to enjoy your own company. The more at peace you are with yourself, the more attractive and intriguing you become to others. The key is to understand that absence is not a gap. It's an opportunity for growth and anticipation. Let them feel your absence just enough to make them think about you, so when you reunite, the joy and appreciation for one another are magnified. Each reunion will feel like a refreshing wave, strengthening the bond between you and enhancing the emotional connection that truly matters. So next time you're apart, don't rush to fill the silence with words or gestures. Instead, give each other the space to grow and watch how this practice of thoughtful absence brings you closer in ways you never expected. Remember, the quiet moments between you are not a void. They're a chance for reflection, yearning, and connection. Let them miss you, and when the time comes to be together again, the reunion will be that much sweeter. You'll have created an emotional rhythm that is as powerful as it is meaningful. What are your thoughts on the power of absence in relationships? Share your opinions in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experiences. Or simply, if you don't know what to say, comment. I understand the power of absence, so I know today's content is valuable to you. Number 5. Emotional control. You may be thinking, control my emotions? I just want them to miss me. But here's a powerful secret. Mastering your emotions is like holding the reins of a wild stallion. When you take control of your emotional responses, you're not just steering the horse of your relationships, you're guiding the entire energy of your interactions. Picture this. Every time you speak or engage with someone, you're calm and composed, regardless of how heated or unpredictable the conversation becomes. This sense of emotional control does more than just impress. It creates an air of intrigue. What does this strength look like in action? When you hold your composure in the face of emotional turbulence, you don't just react, you respond thoughtfully. This ability leaves a lasting impact. Instead of being rattled by life's ups and downs, you remain steady, which creates a subtle sense of mystery. Your partner or potential love interest begins to wonder about your inner world. They notice that where they expect impulsive reactions, they instead find a calm demeanor and unwavering focus. This shift in behavior doesn't go unnoticed. It sparks curiosity. They'll begin to ask themselves, what is he thinking? And this thought alone will create an irresistible pull. In fact, it's often the lack of visible reaction that generates the most intrigue. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them or becoming indifferent. It's about being deliberate in how you respond to situations. It's about showing your emotions in ways that feel intentional, thoughtful, and far more meaningful. This is the difference between a mere reaction and a well-considered response. When you do express affection or emotion, it carries weight, and it doesn't get lost in the noise of impulsive actions. People crave that authenticity, and when you're not around, they will start to miss the warmth and presence that your controlled emotions bring. So remain composed and stay deliberate in your emotional responses. Keep your emotional cards close to your chest. Leave them with something to reflect on. A moment of warmth, a smile, a soft word that lingers in their mind long after you've parted ways. It's this quiet, mysterious strength that makes them think, will he be thinking of me tomorrow? And in that space of curiosity, you hold the power. Remember, a touch of mystery and control is often the key to making someone miss you and drawing them back to you time and time again. Number 6. Consistency in communication. How can you make someone miss you more by simply being consistent in your communication? The key is to create a steady, reliable presence in their life, one that brings comfort and expectation, so that when you're not there, your absence is deeply felt. It's not about bombarding them with constant messages, but about creating a pattern of thoughtful and intentional exchanges that show you're invested in the relationship. Whether it's a simple good morning text, a check-in during the day, or a nightly recap of your experiences, these regular touchpoints establish a rhythm that becomes an integral part of their routine. As the philosopher Seneca wisely said, regularity is a sign of wisdom in communication, highlighting the value of consistency in showing that you are reliable and sincere. Imagine this. Even when your schedule gets hectic and life pulls you in different directions, you maintain this rhythm of communication. It becomes a reassuring constant that they can depend on. It's not about quantity, but about quality and dependability. When you make an effort to maintain this consistency, it creates a sense of reliability, a sense that they can count on you to be there at the right moments, and this in turn fosters a deeper emotional connection. Now, when you suddenly break from this pattern, whether it's missing a good morning text or skipping a daily check-in, they'll notice. Your absence won't go unnoticed because they've come to expect these moments of contact. The silence that follows leaves a noticeable void that they'll begin to long to fill again. In modern life, where distractions are constant, this simple act of consistency can create a profound emotional impact. When you're consistently there, even from a distance, you become woven into the fabric of their day. Your presence, even in small doses, becomes a source of comfort, something they look forward to. And when that presence fades, even for a brief moment, the gap becomes painfully obvious. This is how you build a space in their heart, by creating a space in their routine. They start to miss the familiarity of your messages, the certainty of your words, and the comfort of your attention. By committing to this principle of consistent communication, you make yourself an indispensable part of their daily life. You're not just someone they occasionally remember, you're someone they think about regularly, someone who is reliably present even in the quieter moments. And this is how you turn absence into a form of longing. When you're consistently present, you don't just become a fleeting thought in their mind, you become a steady, essential part of their emotional landscape. So, make consistency your hallmark, keep your communication steady, and watch as they begin to miss you in the spaces that are left when you're not there. Number 7. Mindfulness in interaction. How can being fully present in your interactions make them miss you badly when you're not around? It's simple. You make every single moment count in a way that they feel the weight of your absence deeply. Being mindful is not just about being there physically. It's about engaging completely, with all your attention focused solely on the present moment. This means listening with intention, responding with care, and making every conversation feel like it's the most important one of your life. As Marcus Aurelius said, do every act of your life as if it were your last. Now imagine applying that level of presence to every interaction. Each word, each smile, each moment shared becomes more than just a passing encounter. It becomes a piece of your essence that lingers long after you've parted ways. Think about it. Every time you're together, you bring a level of depth to the moment. You don't just exist in the space, you own it. Your laughter becomes richer, your gaze more intense, and your words more impactful. You are not just filling time, you are filling it with significance. This powerful engagement creates an emotional bond that doesn't fade. It only grows stronger in your absence. When you're not around, they'll start to miss you in ways that transcend simple desire. They'll miss the way you made them feel truly seen, heard, and understood. As the great philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not how long we live, but how well we live." Make your moments together unforgettable and watch how the echoes of your presence linger in their heart. By being mindful, you weave an invisible thread that connects you to them long after the interaction ends. They will miss the energy, the attention, and the connection you brought into their life, the quality of attention that no one else has given them. They'll crave the richness you infused into their world. This level of mindfulness is not just a strategy to make them miss you. It's a life philosophy that enriches every relationship you touch. Your absence becomes more than just a void. It's a noticeable absence of warmth, attention, and understanding. So, make every interaction count. Be present, not just in body, but in spirit. Let mindfulness become your secret weapon in making them miss you. You don't need to chase after them. You need to be so present that they can't help but long for your presence when you're gone. Every time you part ways, you'll leave behind a trace of your essence, ensuring that you're never truly far from their thoughts. Now, if this advice resonates with you, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us create more impactful content just like this. And remember, this isn't just about being unforgettable. It's about making each interaction count double. So let's dive into the sixth principle, the next crucial step in our journey to make them miss us deeply. Pay close attention because you won't want to miss this one. Number 8, moderation in emotions. To truly capture someone's heart, you must master the art of absence. It may sound counterintuitive, but the key to making someone miss you is not about constantly being in their presence. In fact, embracing the times apart can strengthen your bond and deepen the emotional connection you share. The famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life," and this rings true in relationships as well. By accepting the moments of separation, you show your partner that you are not desperate for constant contact. Instead, you demonstrate strength and self-assurance. This acceptance of absence creates a space for longing to build and appreciation to grow, turning the times apart into opportunities for deeper connection. Absence, far from being a negative force, is a chance for both partners to experience freedom. It allows both of you to focus on personal growth and rediscover what drew you together in the first place. Think about it. When you're not around, your partner is given the space to miss you and reflect on what makes your connection special. This subtle shift in perspective allows the relationship to thrive without the pressure of constant communication. Imagine not bombarding your partner with texts or calls, but instead allowing the silence to breathe. This distance can build anticipation, creating a sense of mystery and excitement that makes you even more intriguing. Rather than being an expected part of their routine, you become something they eagerly anticipate. Moreover, embracing absence allows you to become comfortable in your own company, and that in itself is incredibly attractive. When you are content on your own, you're not relying on others for validation or happiness. This self-reliance adds an aura of mystery, making you a more desirable and fascinating individual. Think about the dynamic of your relationship as a dance of togetherness and solitude. By accepting this ebb and flow, you create a balance that makes each reunion feel more meaningful and intense. When you come together after a period of absence, the connection feels renewed and vibrant, filled with appreciation for each other that would not have existed if you were always in close proximity. Remember that absence is not a gap in the relationship. It is a space for growth and anticipation. So instead of fearing the time apart, embrace it. Let your partner feel your absence just enough that they find themselves longing for you. When you reunite, that feeling of longing will transform into a deeper appreciation, making every moment together more precious than ever before. This principle, rooted in the wisdom of Stoic philosophy, teaches us that the key to building stronger relationships is not clinging to each other constantly, but allowing freedom and space to create something truly special. Hey there, friends! Before we wrap up, remember this. Consistency in your character, paired with a touch of spontaneity, is the secret formula to being unforgettable. By providing a stable foundation for your partner while adding those surprising joys, you make yourself someone they'll always cherish and miss deeply. Now, take this advice to heart. Be the person who is missed, not just today, but every day. Embrace your stoic strength and let it shape your relationships into something that truly lasts. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe for more practical Stoic tips. We'd love to have you as part of our Stoicism Win community. And hey, drop a comment below with on their mind tomorrow to let me know you're committed to applying these principles in your life. It's a fun way to stay accountable, and you never know, maybe your comment will be the first thing someone thinks of tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching today. Keep those Stoic principles close to your heart and your character steady, because if you do, you'll stay on their mind, not just tomorrow, but every day. Stay strong, stay resilient, and keep shining with that unique Stoic grace. Your journey to becoming unforgettable begins right now. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.